Good afternoon. My name is Beverly Morgan, and I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing here at Knollwood Life Plan Community. And I'm excited to have my Chief Financial Officer, Mr. Gladstone James, that he's going to share with us a lot of wealth and knowledge about what the financial aspects to enter into Knollwood and some of the processes that we actually apply to our overall operation. So Gladstone, you want to say a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Hi, my name is Gladstone James. I come with 25 years in actual hospitality, worked for a great company called Choice Hotels. And then I went to Erickson Senior Living, big community, very well recognized in the industry. And I joined here about 6 months ago and excited to be part of this dynamic team.
Well, we're glad to have you, Gladstone. You have brought to a lot of synergy to the community, and we are making a lot of progress as a result of you being here. Just wanted to share a little bit with you about what Knollwood offers. Knollwood is a not-for-profit organization that has been in the community serving our military population for over 62 years. And now, in the last 5 years, we're now open to the general public as well. Knollwood sits on a 16-acre property here in Northwest DC in the Rock Creek area. And if I tell you, the landscaping here is amazing. We are actually, and this is a beautiful time of the year. You can see the trees changing, the landscaping, how it's just so involved in this. The sounds that you hear here is amazing. Good for us that we serve a senior population of 62 years and older, which is one of the eligibilities for entering into the membership here at Knollwood. Being a life plan community, some of the things that we have to offer here are several levels of care, which are independent living, assisted living, skilled nursing services, rehab services for short term, as well as memory care. I'm gonna let Gladstone talk about the overview.
Yeah, so there's a lot of exciting things about our community. One is that we are a continuing care retirement community. And as Beverly mentioned, we have 5 levels of care. We offer a lot of different health services. And it is a real community. People are taking care of each other's neighbors, helping neighbors. And coming in here, you'll build a whole new wealth of friends and community. And that's an amazing part of being in a continuing care retirement community. One of the things that people always ask me about is, what are the protections I have by coming into a community? Now, there are a lot of regulatory guardrails and a lot of protections. And even for my own parents, I was trying to explain to them, what are the important things and protections that you have coming into a community. One of the important aspects is that, as Beverly mentioned, we are a 501c3 non-for-profit. Therefore, I'm not constrained by shareholders and trying to keep up with their needs, and we serve our residents. Any money that we do make is circulated back to our community for their benefit. Again, we do have a very stringent regulatory agreement that is kind of evaluated by DSBY, which is the DC Insurance and Banking and Securities Organization. And so it makes sure it protects the rights of the residents, as well as I'm going to share some information about all the stakeholders, all the people that are involved in our daily operations, and why we're of value to potential residents and residents that live here.
Thank you. So go ahead and explain the different levels of care and what a continual care community actually offers.
Sure. When residents are looking at what a continuing care retirement community is, there are several different types. There is a life care, which you pay a fee and we'll take care of you for life. There is a modified life care, meaning that you pay for certain services. And we are a C-type community, which I think is the best because you pay for the services that you receive. So there are certain health care transitions that are covered, but as the care needs increase, so do those costs, right? And so you're not constrained. Many people never need to progress to higher levels of care. They live out their lives in a wonderful manner in our independent living, and so they haven't had to pay for those additional fees. Whereas a pure life care community would charge you that for the period of time that you're there. And so having a C-type community with the option of assisted living, with memory care, with skilled nursing, if those needs were to arise, I think is really powerful. So, it's a home for life. And as you progress, we have all the care needs that you would possibly need.
I like the fact that advanced care planning is essential to what it is we have to offer here at Knollwood. A lot of times we find that just finding seniors that are ready to pull the trigger. I think we find a lot of people have actually did a great job in planning financially for their retirement years. They have actually put together an executed plan in where they want to live and when. I will say that many of our residents or prospective clients, they start out relatively early on because they know that Knollwood is a great place and we provide great services. And then they indicate when they really are getting closer to moving in. And the sales and marketing team does a tremendous job in making sure we are catering to their needs and then assisting them along the progression to moving into a life plan community. But talk about the regulatory components. I think that's important because some people don't really realize what that is and what it entails.
Yeah, sure. So two things that I think about the benefits of being in a community. One is the predictability, right? So as you get older, you don't want to be dealing with a lot of hassles of lawn maintenance and different things that might come up. And peace of mind and predictability are two things that are really important to our community and the services that we provide. So if we look at the regulatory pieces that we are kind of governed by, DSB, as I mentioned before, which is the Department of Insurance, Securities and Banking. So we are actually considered part of an insurance product. So when we qualify you to come here, we have a commitment to keep you for life. So as long as you don't inappropriately spend your money and it's used appropriately for your care needs, we will always have a place for you. We're also governed by the DC government, Department of Health. We have Equal Housing Opportunity governs us, Center for Medical Services, for Medicare, OSHA, and numerous amount of regulatory agencies, Department of Labor, because we have a big staff here to serve our residents. So one of the things that's really important for us is from a compliance perspective to make sure our standards are high. Again, we just got our 5-star rating, which is given to us by CMS, and we're very excited about that standard. And again, it's a wonderful place with a lot of guardrails to make sure we're providing the best, and we go above and beyond in most cases.
We do, we do, and one of the most valued assets to the Knollwood family is our employees. We are fortunate enough to have employees who have been with the organization for 10, 20 years, and their contribution to the overall organization is amazing. And you're right, the Department of Labor helps guide us in making sure that we're taking great care of our employees and our employees are taking great care of our residents, henceforth while we are a 5-star organization. But talk about the nonprofit components of things.
Yeah, so coming from a for-profit background when I was in hospitality, I can share that being a nonprofit helps us be mission focused. So when we look at what is our mission to provide our residents with the quality of life, care that they deserve, and the comfort of having their family nearby, hopefully. And there's a lot of people who don't have family. We become their family. And what I say to a lot of my residents is, hey, look, I feel like I have 250 parents and grandparents that I have to take care of. So they have our services here. And for me as a finance director, not only do I have parents and grandparents here, but I have a lot of cousins and brothers and sisters as our employees. And we really have become a family here. And even in my short time, I can see there's a culture of genuine interest in our residents, providing really engaging services. And, you know, sometimes I'll stop down and play a hand gin with some of the residents. And there's a really nice feel that we have here with our resident community.
The one thing I agree with you, Gladstone, is that Knollwood absolutely is an organization that feels like family. I remember the first time I walked in the doors here, you could just feel like, I felt like I was at home, and I was glad that I had the opportunity to come and serve in this capacity, you know, trying to help seniors navigate their retirement life plan is not easy. Sometimes it could be a little overwhelming and a little difficult. And I would say that the sales and marketing team does an awesome job in hand-holding each client through the process to the point where they're comfortable with the decision that they're making. We also involve their advocates, whether it is their children, their financial planner, their attorney, or their power of attorney. We want to make sure we're all on one accord as we help people navigate this process. So just know that we are here for you on every level, and even in regards to the financial component of things. And we'll get into that a little bit further. Yeah. Move to the next slide.
And I'll say one more thing with the nonprofit is what people don't realize is not only is it that I'm not motivated by stakeholders and shareholders, but we're also getting contributions. Our vendors, outside people will help, you know, donate, because we are kind of have a military background, as well as the senior living aspect. So we do get additional funding from those kind of opportunities.
That's correct. So let's talk about the pricing. You can move to the next slide. One of the things about Knollwood is that just to understand the process for moving into the organization, there is an entry fee, and the entry fee is indicated by the leadership here. We process and analyze the industry overall and determine what is the industry standards in regards to the entry fee and the monthly fees that are attached to the financial aspect of moving into Knollwood. We do some pricing with our competitors, so we can try to stay competitive and not overpricing in the market. We do a residency agreement process. It's not a deed, so you do not own the property, but you do assume possession of the property. And I'm going to talk to you about the different ways in which you can move in from a financial perspective. We provide future access to healthcare, as we both indicated, on all levels of care. So that's one of the things that helps alleviate that misnomer about, as I grow older, and if my health is to change, or I had a condition that requires more care and services, what do? What we do is we have a team, a family here that's going to help you understand what's going on, if there are wraparound services that we can provide you with so that you can remain in independent living. However, when and if you, the individual client, decides that this is a little bit too much and I need a little bit more assistance, we create a plan to help you transition throughout the community. The autonomy is yours. That is one of the takeaway messages that I want to share with the public, is we are a family that help you transition throughout the continuum. And that is an important part of what we do.
Yeah, I think an important part is, as you said, as you mentioned, it's also being independent, right? Like a lot of times family has a very personal interest in things, and we can actually provide kind of independent information to help you make your best decisions.
Right. The monthly fees that are attached to living at Knollwood is nominal as well. We also look at the market to make sure that we are on target what our competitors are doing. And so the monthly fee includes a host of services that go along with it. So as you look at our independent price sheet on the next slide, and this is not necessary for you to be able to read it, but if you like, you can email me at Beverly Morgan at knollwoodcommunity.org, and I will absolutely show you send you a copy of our current fee sheet. We are actually in the process of updating it for 2025, but we can share with you our 2024 fees at this time. Many of the apartments here, which is one of the beauties of living at Knollwood, making a choice to make Knollwood your retirement care community, is that we're not a cookie cutter model. We are not a model in which if it's a 1-bedroom, it's the same 1-bedroom. It just determines where it is in the community. We have several levels of 1-bedroom apartments, and we have a plethora of 2-bedroom apartments that we can offer here. And the square footage ranges between 1,000 square feet and 2,600 square feet. So the options are limitless. It's all about what you want, when you want it, and how you want it. And so we are very customization friendly. We do make it exactly how you want it. Quite often, you could literally pick up your home and place it into your apartment here so that your transition is very smooth. So I just want you to understand what independent living looks like here. We have multiple models, different views, different locations throughout the organization. So it all depends on what you want. Next slide, please.
And one thing I'll share with that too is with independent living, like people think they have to give up their lives. No, we have people that are working, they go to a lot of parties, they've got family, they're out and about, they're here as a home. And so it's not what a lot of people expect and think of but it is pure independent living.
Yes. One of the things I also want to share with you is from a financial perspective is how do you move into Knollwood? So there's two things that we take under consideration. We do a physical assessment of everybody who moves in to make sure that we are helping you move into Knollwood and at the appropriate level of care. We gather all the information from your primary care physician to determine what your clinical needs are. And then we have one of our clinicians here that will do an interview assessment of you to ensure that we're moving you into the appropriate level of care. That's one aspect of what we do. The other is the financial aspect. What we do is we help you gather information. We help you gather information in regards to your assets, whether it's your real estate, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, retirement programs that you have participated in. And then we try to help determine how your assets will last throughout the continuum while you are a resident here at Knollwood. So when moving in, there's 3 ways that you can move in. And once you pick an apartment, if you pick one of the smaller size apartments, you can move in what we call a standard. And you pay one flat fee based on the size apartment that you have chosen. And then you will move in and pay a monthly fee. That's one way to do it. And the standard option will have a declining balance over a 36-month time frame. So if you stay with us greater than 36 months, then it is a flat out, it actually comes to a flat 0 balance at that point in regards to refunds. The other way that you can move into Knollwood is at a 45% refund. That means if you decide to terminate your agreement at Knollwood, you can get 45% of your entry fee back. The other way that you can move into Knollwood is a 90% refund. And the 90% also, you can move in and get 90% of your refund back if you terminate or if you transition. And if you transition, and the refund will then transition to your estate at that time. So those are the ways that you can move in: a standard care option for smaller apartments. For the larger apartments, you have the option of 45% and 90%. Quite often, we ask the clients to have their financial planners to review and look over the options to see which option works out best for them. So as we talked about, and we can give you some examples of what that looks like. So if it's a 95, if it's a 45% refund, the ranges are moving into a one bedroom to a 2-bedroom. That would be roughly between 212,000 to 973,000 at 45%. If you're moving in at a 90% refund, that will range between 307,000 to 1.3 million, and that all depends on the size apartment that you've chosen. However, if you want to do something on the less expensive scale, we still have the standard declining balance that ranges between 112 to 184. So we have a wide range of options available. So if you are curious about what it takes, if you're in that planning phase and trying to research what is the best option for you, please feel free to contact us, schedule a one-on-one personal tour so that you can see what we have available in inventory, but more importantly, so you can determine how you can plan to financially prepare for moving into a continuing care community. This goes to an example of the entry fees that I just went over, so we can move to the next slide. And you move to the next slide too, because this talks about refunds. So one of the things that I do want to talk about is the monthly fees. And that's really, really important. And why this is important is this. So one of the things that we talk about this quite often when we're preparing to accept a client. So if your monthly fee for a 1-bedroom ranges between $3,000 and $3,400 for a 1-bedroom, or up to $6,000 to $8,000 if it's a couple moving into the organization, we look at your monthly income. That's another aspect in which we evaluate to make sure that your assets will last you throughout the continuum. So if your monthly income is roughly 1.5, your monthly fee, we know that you're in a comfortable place where your assets will last you throughout the continuum. Remember, when you move into this organization, you get a lot of resources that come along with the monthly fee. And what's included in the monthly fee is the following. You can move to the next slide. Real estate taxes, homeowners insurance. We do home warranties on all of our appliances and systems that we utilize here. We have major interior, exterior repairs that is included. In regards to repairs, it's just a phone call. Our team, and we have a really detailed team that takes care of our infrastructure, which is the reason why Knollwood presents as well as it does. We have utilities that's included. All your utilities are included in internet, telephone service, electricity, heating, water. All of that is included in your monthly fee. We do a weekly housekeeping as well as an annual deep cleaning that we provide to you. We have a plethora of activities that we offer internally and externally. If you want, I can go ahead and send you a copy of our monthly schedule so that you can see what it offers. But we have buses that will come right in front of the building and pick you up. Every day the residents are here are going somewhere, whether it's shopping or going to a restaurant, a theater, a museum. The culture here in the Washington, D.C. area is so rich, and we want to make sure we keep our residents here engaged and informed. So there's a lot of things that we do offer here that's included in the monthly fee. And that gives you as a senior a sense of comfort, because there's a lot of things that you have to continue to worry about, where majority of those things kind of go away, like house maintenance and things like that. You don't have to worry about that anymore. There's a team here that's going to take care of everything for you.
I think the nice thing is there's flexibility. You know, for example, if you don't want to cook one day, you can go down to our dining hall and eat. If you really enjoy cooking, you can cook all the time. You know, there's lots of options here that are available very conveniently. Like she said, transportation. If you want to go to the grocery store, you can drive or you can use the shuttle. You know, we've got a lot of nice options here.
We also have a metro bus that comes right in front of our building too, and I think they run like every 30 minutes or so. You're not isolated to just being here on the campus or just doing the activities that we offer. Just as Gladstone indicated, a lot of our residents are still working, even if it's part-time, just to keep them engaged. But a lot of them do a lot of community activities. They're community advocates, and they're still very busy doing the work that they very much enjoy. So talk about the agreements and regulations, Gladstone.
Okay, so our agreements, again, I mentioned that there's lots of different components to it, the term of the agreement, the financials of it, the service delivery, what we will do for you, what you will need to do, your obligations to us, because it is a handshake agreement. It's something that we both have to do, right? So, you know, for example, one of the things that we offer here is when we do your evaluation, your financial evaluation, we look at you know, an actuarial study of how long we expect you to be here, and we expect your money to last a certain amount of time. Now, if you go and give away your money to your children or grandchildren to go to university or go to Harvard, then you haven't met your part of the obligation, and we are no longer obligated to, you know, to continue to support you. But if no fault of your own, you've done everything diligently, you've abided by the regulation, and you know, you've spent a lot of money on healthcare, and then we will take care of you, right? Again, that's that insurance side of things. So, and I take that very seriously because people are donating to our community, their hard-earned money, their assets, and we want to make sure we are protecting it and using it appropriately, safeguarding it. And so every penny that is spent here, we try to make sure there's an investment. I don't like to spend money. I like to invest money. I want to make sure that every cent that we have from your monthly or your entrance deposit is utilized for the care and well-being of the community.
I like that because, and you're right, I think as the leadership here, we collaborate quite often, and we create strategic plans that we feel like when we are allocating funds that we're spending, we want it to be for an enrichment of the community, more importantly to enhance the quality of life for the residents here. I think we do a great job of being very diligent in that regards, and I feel like the residents here have a sense of comfort in knowing that we always have their best interests at heart.
Yeah.
And that goes on to the assisted living component. I just want to tap into that real quickly. If you move throughout the continuum, you can move to the next slide. When you move throughout the continuum, you will see that you can move from independent living to assisted living, if and when that's indicated. And so if you have moved into Knollwood and independent living, when you move into assisted living, there's no additional fee required to move to assisted living. What we do is we adjust your monthly fee to cover the additional services that you will gain as a result of moving to the next level of care. If you can move to the next slide, I can kind of explain to you what the monthly fees will include. So the monthly fees include 24-hour supervision by our nursing staff. We have certified nursing assistants that will provide all of your activities of daily living, bathing, dressing, feeding, toilet, incontinence care, all of those things, getting you out of bed, taking you to therapy, keeping you motivated, engaged, making sure that you're participating in the activities of your choice. providing personal care in an individualized way, getting to know you well enough to know what you prefer. But by all means, doing it your way is important, and we want to make sure we're accommodating you to the fullest at every level of care here. You still have weekly housekeeping that will come into your apartments. And in assisted living, we still have apartments that you're moving into an apartment. It's not a one room, it's an apartment that also has a kitchenette, a refrigerator, a microwave. All meals are included, breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the dining room. Or if you choose not to live or have your meals in the dining room, you can always opt to have your meals delivered to your apartment. Laundry is done for you weekly. And then we have a plethora of activities, exercises, and therapy. And I don't know if I mentioned that we have an indoor pool here. We have a fitness center that's also here on site. And then we have little pockets of different activity areas throughout the community where there's different events held all day long, every day of the week. So we try to keep you very busy and engaged at all times while you're here. So when it comes to insurances, insurance plays a good role. And that's one of the other things that we do assess for you once you're here at Knollwood. So I will say that most people, because of your age moving into the organization, would have Medicare. So that's important. So most people have Medicare A and B. Some people have a C plan, which is a Medicare Advantage plan that is also available for you. Now, let me be very clear. The insurances will cover your services when you're in the skilled nursing component of services. However, if you're in independent living or assisted living and your doctor writes an order for therapy, rehab, or any specialized services, you can utilize your insurance benefits at that time. We are a provider of Medicare and Medicaid here at this facility. Henceforth, our 5-star Medicare and Medicaid services rating. We also evaluate whether or not you have long-term care insurance. When you are moving or transitioning throughout the continuum into assisted living or to skilled nursing, if you have a long-term care insurance a benefit, at that time, we can activate your benefit. And in some cases, it could pay up to 50 to 60 or 70% of your monthly fees just by activating your long-term care insurance policy at that time. So that's not something to underestimate. That's something that we include and make sure that we can also service you throughout the continuum in assisted living, skilled nursing, and rehab and memory care. So we just want to make sure people understand the benefits of that.
And I will just also share, I've had a lot of residents come to me saying, oh man, my premiums keep going up and they're getting really expensive, but the value of it is something that you must maintain. If you've got it, do everything you can to keep it.
Yes, I look at some of the policies and some people were really astute in making really wise decisions and choosing their long-term care provider.
Yeah.
Some of them were fortunate enough to get a unlimited policy, which will last them their entire lifetime, which is amazing. And that can be used again in assisted living and the skilled nursing level of care. So those are things that we help activate for our residents to make sure that we allowing them and us to be good stewards of their assets while they're here at Knollwood. So one of the things I wanted to share with you is that when we are doing our financial assessment, we factor in age. That's a key factor too. I will say in most continuing care communities, people tend to move in like around in their 70s after they've retired for a little bit, and then they're deciding how they want to live the rest of their retirement life. But some people move in a little later, but it's all up to you. We take you at any age or any stage, as long as it's over 62 years of age. Life expectancy is something else we factor in as well. So those are things that we can be considerate of as we make the choices of who comes in based on our evaluations from a physical standpoint as well as a financial standpoint. And those are conversations we have with our residents, their advocates, and families prior to moving in, so that we are all on the same page on how we're going to be advocates for their financial viability while they're here at Knollwood. But we want to make sure, as you indicated, we want to make sure that we can take care of the residents that move into Knollwood at every level of care whenever they need it. And quite frankly, Knollwood historically has done an awesome job at always advocating for our residents. And if and when there's a time when our residents do run out of resources, we have our Army Distaff Foundation, part of our organization that raises funds on an annual basis to support the mission and the vision of Knollwood. And that's really important to us at this time too.
Yeah, and really, again, to Beverly's point, people sometimes are leery of, do they really kind of accommodate that? And we do. We have 6 or 7 people currently that are, have, due to no fault of their own, have run out of money. We have people that are living here for 20 years and 30 years. So, at some point we do might run out of money. And if that should happen, we're here for them.
Right. The other thing that I will share with you too is that we do have on staff here financial experts that would help with Medicaid eligibility when and if that becomes an issue for some people. But that is something that we are able to help with. And so don't be afraid of that either. I know sometimes that's one of the things that people don't really understand how that happens, but we have a Medicaid specialist here on staff that will help with that process when and if that becomes an issue. Assessing assets, that is something that we take under consideration. One of the things we do is I actually tap into some of the financial planners of our clients, because they can give us some insight on what's happening currently, historically, what has happened with some of their assets and resources. But more importantly, they can give you the predictors as to how things are going to be protected in the future. And as I indicated, we look at all avenues of revenue streams, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, real estate, surety bonds, whatever that is that the individual has in their possession. We take all of that under consideration to make sure that we are able to sustain and maintain the individual's assets throughout their tenure here at Knollwood. Monthly income, of course, is also a key factor. I indicated that earlier. And what I will say is, having that information documented is really, really important to us, so that we can ensure and help you make decisions. Because I think sometimes too, people don't really realize all the things that they have available. And with our collaboration and coordination in the sales and marketing department, as well as the finance department, we will help you with that as you navigate moving into a continuing care community. Next. I don't know if we have any questions while we're here, any questions or concerns in regards to Knollwood. Any questions? Concerns? I think I see something in the chat.
All right. What is an important first step to take What is an important first step to take if you are interested in Knollwood?
Okay, so what the first step that I would say is to call and make an appointment, call, email, go to the website and make an appointment to meet with someone on the sales and marketing team that could help you kind of tour and get an idea of what your needs are, the time frame in which you are looking to move in, and then we will coordinate how we're gonna get you moved in. The other is that gives the sales and marketing team a good opportunity to get to know you better, because we pride ourselves on being customer service friendly. We want to make sure we help you navigate throughout the entire process. We hold your hand throughout till you move in and after, I will say, and even after. We help coordinate, making sure that we keep you abreast of every step that we take in the progress of you moving in. So it really is a smooth process once you've made the decision to get on our wait list. And then once you identify what apartment you absolutely would love, and we begin to customizations of it to make it and prepare it for your individual needs and preference. We schedule a date and we coordinate you moving in, and then you become a member of the Knollwood family. It's just that simple.
Yeah, and again, the first step is talk to the team, because information is power, right? Like, you're going to have a lot of questions about what our community looks like, what are the services, are we really delivering these things? And I think information is power, knowledge is power. Come enjoy, come meet us, come say hi to me. And we're happy to share what a wonderful community we have.
Awesome. One of the questions is, what is the wait list? So the wait list gives you access to our inventory. So the wait list is, there's a fee to get on our wait list, and the fee is a $5,000 fee to get on the wait list. 1,500 of that amount is non-refundable. 3,500 is refundable if you choose not to move into Knollwood. However, if you decide to move into Knollwood, all 5,000 is applied to your entry fee. But when you are on our wait list and we know specifics as to what you're looking for, a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, a den, no den, a balcony, whatever your preferences are, we put you on the wait list. And every time we get apartments that are in your preference list, and we usually ask you for a A and a B preference, we will call you and let you know we have something in inventory that is in your preference list. And then we invite you to come and tour to see if that is an apartment that you prefer. If it turns out that it is, then we move forward with you signing an agreement. What we call that our 75-day. And the 75-day agreement, what that indicates is it's an agreement between two parties, you and Knollwood. One, we agree to take the apartment of your choice out of inventory. It also means that we're obligated to renovate it to your customized preference within 75 days to take you to closing and to move in. So those are the things that we do. The wait list is important because the wait list gives you access. It also gives you access to all of our activities and events that we have throughout the year. And usually with every event that we have is to showcase our current inventory. It also is to make sure that you understand what the nuances are going on in the Knollwood family and or community. And it gives you access to the leadership here so that you can start to build a relationship with the leadership here prior to moving in. So that is what the wait list kind of gives you, a lot of access, I would say. It gives you access. Mm-hmm. Any other questions?
I've got one here. This is one after my own heart. Okay. What is Knollwood's financial position? Now, that's a tricky question, right? Because you have got to look at our cash flow, you've got to look at our balance sheet, you've got to look at our income statement. And when we look at our business model, it's very strong. Like I'll share a couple of interesting facts. We have about $137 million asset here between the buildings and all of our infrastructure and the land, because, as Beverly mentioned, we're located in a very ideal part of Washington DC along the Rock Creek Parkway. So we have a very valued asset here. And we have less than $20 million in debt. So that should tell you something right there from an asset perspective. And we are, like many retirement communities that have gone through COVID. We had some people that, wanted to go live closer to their family and what have you, but now have come back. And so the model is turning very quickly. As Beverly mentioned, we've seen a great turn in our occupancy. We have about a 95% occupancy here in our independent living. So there is an importance in getting on that wait list, because you might not get the perfect unit you're looking for unless you get on that wait list now. And Beverly and team will make sure to find you the right perfect asset or home for you going forward.
Yes, and I will say this, and this is to toot the horn and celebrate the success of the sales and marketing team. In 2024, we have superseded our sales and sales and marketing goals for fiscal and census building by the month of July. We had already met our annual goals. And then so from July to present, we are now 40% over and beyond the goals set for us from a fiscal and a census standpoint. So are we fiscally strong? I would say we are, and we're going to be moving in the same direction in 2025. The team has already kind of set a precedence on where we're going and how we're going to get there. Our strategic plan that we are implementing for 2025 is already taken off with the help and support of the leadership here. We're excited about all the things that we're getting ready to do here. I think 2025 is going to be pivotal to the overall growth and development and the legacy of Knollwood moving forward.
Okay. There's actually some technical questions here about some of our licenses. So one of the things that was happening is the DC was sending the licenses to somebody that wasn't here. Again, I'm new, so it did expire. My team's been working on it. We were getting ready to pay it yesterday. They only wanted to take a credit card, and our credit card didn't have what we needed to make it paid by credit card. And so we're actually going to cut the check and drive it down to them and get that cleared up as soon as possible. There was a question about our capital reserves. Again, we do reinvest back into the community through unit modernization, through looking at what we need to do, and that's an important part of what we're doing. We're upgrading our fitness center. We're looking at the library area, some of the elevators and those kind of things that are important to take care of. So we have a good capital plan coming forward. One of the questions I got is here: when will you file your 990? We submitted our paperwork to our auditors probably about a week ago, and we expect it to be filed by the end of the month. And that's what we're really pushing for. So those are some technical things, questions that were out there. And again, some of it is just timing, and we're being very diligent about making sure those things are taken care of, and trying to find ways to make sure they don't happen again. I don't like our licenses, our regulatory things to expire, but unfortunately it did happen, and we're being very proactive about resolving.
Well, thank you, Gladstone. Sounds like your team is extremely busy with being fiscally responsible for the operations of Knollwood. And as a new team member, it's not easy. You got to jump in and resolve problems in real time, which it sounds like you guys are doing an amazing job of. And I want to, just say thank you and give you kudos to leading a team that's doing a phenomenal job. And listen, I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy day to spend time with us. I hope some of the information we shared here was helpful to you. If you need any additional information, please feel free to contact us here at Knollwood. The phone number here is 202-541-0149. Give us a call, schedule an appointment, and we would love to sit down with you and share additional information. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gladstone.
Good job.
And we look forward to seeing you in 2025. Bye.